sitting here talking about pet pictures, but
yeah, I'm showing pictures of a cat. You got the dog.
we're taking a picture of the studio dog. Thank you, Colleen. As we concluded our last episode, I kind of had a hard time believing that Sean Connery would ever wear something that you described in our last show, which was
sort of a red fabric loincloth with chest straps. And it was a movie that was made in 1974 called Zardoz. And someone was saying that it was supposed to be set in 2019, but it's actually set in 22 something another. I looked it up. And, but it's just, it
and
really is.
Thigh high,
and thigh high boots. And he's wearing a ponytail. It is one of the funniest pictures ever.
Yeah.
But, he's a working actor. This is how he paid his bills.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's worth seeing. Zardoz as in zebra. Just saying. Sean Connery, everybody. My sister took a picture of my brother and texted it to me on the morning of New Year's, saying, looks like Sean Connery in The Hunt for Red October. It was the way he had his beanie on because it was so cold. Isn't it so funny? It got so freaking cold, and now it's like, boop, it's like 40.
Yeah, the weather, it's my fault because I did two things.
What did you do?
I bought a really fucking huge snowblower because I could not find anyone to take care of my lawn, the driveway and stuff this year. There's just not enough folks. And two, for Christmas, I bought my mom an automatic start for her car.
Right.
So between these two things,
you've brought the warm weather. I thank you very much for your participation in what has so far been a pretty easy stretch of
we're
winter.
gonna get hit, and then we're all and it's gonna and half of Minnesota will pretend like they've never seen snow before. It's always fucking amazing.
I know. It's I get it. Yeah. Okay, so we begin today with the subject of ED, and I've decided that there's this one ED commercial that runs on XM stations that I listen to, and it's for something called Roman. And if they do a commercial that's even remotely trying to be humorous, I've decided that the shit doesn't work. And the stuff, because there's no, your dick might fall off, and stuff might come shooting out of your ass, your skin will get weird, you could get narcolepsy. There's none of that. Yeah. So it can't work if there's no draconian potential
so
side
this has
effects.
to be some sort of
snake
herbal
yeah, I'm sure it is. But this has potential, although I find it terrifying. Russian researchers claim to have found a way to produce instant erections with remote control zappers. Now, it sounds funny. You want to laugh, go ahead. I'm not going to get upset.
No, there's some you know that you're in a good relationship and you hand over the remote control to your dick. This is what I'm visualizing here.
Okay, no, that's funny.
Okay.
Oh my God. The erection vanishes just as quickly after another signal is sent, which is very funny. Can you just see the guy going, honey, click? And she's like, yeah, click. Yeah. They going up and down like the fucking garage door.
Yeah, this is exactly where my brain went.
They've been showing this on monkeys. And basically it's operated by tiny electrodes that are connected to nerves in the male reproductive systems. So then the erections are induced by electrostimulation of those nerves. And this quote-unquote breakthrough was made by a team of 20 scientists studying the male reproductive health and impotence over many years. This is the first, they're dubbing it, the first successful study of this kind in the world, opening up a new realm of erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, I wonder if they should. Now they just need to work on a switch for sperm, no sperm, sperm, no sperm.
Yeah.
And then you could hand that over to your partner.
Yeah.
For birth control.
Yeah, you push the sperm button. God dang it, I don't know anymore. In a world where people find things to be offended about, I'm having a hard time with this one.
Okay.
There's a British chain. It's called Marks and Spencer, and they're selling something called Porn Star Martinis. And they're ready-made cocktails in a can, which I'm sorry, I've never found one that's worth drinking.
Because all I know is that pretty much ready-made cocktails in a can in the U.S. are pretty much made out of a malt alcohol. At least they used to be. I don't think that they, that if you had something that was supposed to have vodka in it, it was actually vodka. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't. I drink so rarely, anymore because I'm usually, I'm driving and I'm a cheap drunk, so there's no point to it. Mm. But I remember looking at some of this old stuff that it was just malt. It wasn't really vodka. It wasn't really rum. It wasn't really whatever it is.
If you're going to have a drink, get the actual vodka or right. I know. But here's the problem. This group is, they've dubbed themselves Not Buying It, and they have a hashtag, but they're upset with the name, saying that they're trying to promote the sex industry, and they're complaining about 90% of porn shows violence versus women, gagging, choking, and strangulation. Which, I'm sorry,
which is not true, but that's okay.
That's not.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I mean, the minute people say stupid shit like that, they completely undercut any. If there was even a viable argument, it's gone now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and the company says we launched the Porn Star Martini drink after our team worked very hard on developing it and picked the name, to mimic a very common and popular name for a passion fruit cocktail drink. And I mean, people, come on. I mean, pick something that's like.
All you have to do is once again. Yeah, once again, if you're gonna when you choose there's room to be annoyed, outraged, whatever, at more than one thing. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, but if you're down there, then you're maybe missing the bigger picture of some of the other things that you should be having a problem with.
Yeah.
It's going through there. It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can help me with the visualization portion of this next thing.
I'm clearing the whiteboard in my head.
Please do.
Okay.
Because there's a new virtual reality sex helmet out there, okay? And it's not to have you watch sex. It's to film it. And this is really interesting. It's designed to record sex tapes in high-quality 8K resolution from a first-person perspective. And it's built by a porn production company called VR Bangers. Okay, so here's the deal. They said filming virtual reality video is very hard. So film stars had to rely on some pretty weird rigging systems to get the angles that they needed. Mm-hmm. So listen to this. The original virtual reality head rig was literally a mannequin head stuffed with microphones and cameras. So this made life harder for the male actors who would have to lie underneath these creepy mannequin heads, which they said was like killing their erections, like making hard. And all I could think of is my reaction to that would be like, oh my God, it's like the camera equivalent of a clown. Like that would get me out of the mood like yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so I'm trying to visualize what they were doing before, and now they're actually putting a helmet on the live human being.
Yes.
Okay, I would just laugh.
I know.
It would be too damn silly. I mean, I don't.
I know.
That would just be funny. I mean, sort of like, putting on a GoPro and having sex. I mean, I'm sure it's a little more involved in that, but, I mean, yes, it's their job. And I'm assuming that when folks are doing a whole bunch of stuff for like green screen and they're all covered in dots and all that and you're acting, and it's got to be the same thing. Yeah. But, and then what if you knock it off for having really good sex?
Yeah, well, and they're about to test it in an actual upcoming, productions. So they're going to see if it helps. This kind of reminds me of.
Well, I mean, I get so nauseated by 3D and virtual reality, anything like that. I can't. It's just motion sickness.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't know if I'd ever be able to watch one anyway.
Yeah.
Going through there.
Yeah. Well, this kind of reminds me of my ex. So this is really towards the end, and I'm like, really? So I'll never forget. We go down to. We went to visit friends, and we were staying at their house, and he put on, I kid you not, to go to bed. Those headlamps that have, like the straps. Mm-hmm. He used to wear it to run, at night, but he took it to bed. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, take that off. He goes, no, if I have to get up, I don't know where I am. If I have to get up to go to the bathroom, I'm going to, and then he started doing it in hotels and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? Ding up your shin. Like, I just cannot, like, this is the least sexy thing that I have ever seen in my life.
You could have a little flashlight there, but I don't know about you, but even if I'm in a place that I don't know, my eyes adjust. There is never complete darkness anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can usually, I can usually see after a few moments. There's enough you can get through.
Yeah. 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 That was something I could never really get past. So overpopulation kills sex drive. So there was a study years ago that was actually it was back in the 50s. It was a scientist named John B. Calhoun, and they created a mouse utopia with everything they would want: warmth, bedding, food, and then they had amazing population surges. But when they started getting overcrowded, they started fighting each other, and so this work was used to actually advise NASA and prisons on how to manage populations. And
I'm pretty sure that prisons have completely and utterly ignored this, from what I've been hearing. I mean, every story. I mean, there's so many. I mean, lawsuits against the inhumane conditions in prisons in this country. For Pete's sake, yeah.
Oh, it's yeah. I hope they pass that. One great step would be to pass the reform bill that they're looking at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and commute anyone that ever got busted for pot for just holding or smoking it, for God's sakes.
Yeah. Couldn't agree with you more. Especially not to go off, but the imbalance in how much more harshly women were sentenced on similar.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. If you're if you're a female or black.
Yeah,
the sentences for this stuff is insane.
Oh my God, I agree with you completely. But they're talking about how our population is going to swell by 1 billion over the next 12 years.
Oh, on the planet itself.
Yeah, on the planet. But
because we're at what 4 billion now. We're going to go to 5.
No, we're at 7.
7. No, 6. I'm getting. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, but there's also been population declines in so many places too. So, in fact, there's countries that are promoting sex. Russia,
Japan, stuff like that. But most of these folks are going where there's not a lot of resources too. It's like everyone moving out to freaking Vegas where there's no freaking water. That's going to be the thing folks are going to be fighting over. I mean, hell, we're already fighting over water here in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think someone from if folks in the Midwest are going to say the folks in the Southwest can have Great Lakes water, that shit ain't going to happen. Stuff like that, or the fact that we're pumping it out of aquifers to irrigate, lands that should that do not have regular rainfall for crops.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird because I'm from California originally, and this whole idea of Northern and Southern California splitting. I mean, that's been around forever. But part of the reason why the Northern California people are so irritated is because Southern California takes all their water. And Southern California is basically a semi-arid desert. And so, the people that go to choose to live in these places really do get on the nerves of the other people that live in the place where the resources are. It's pretty interesting. So I used to have many spirited conversations. If I ever went to San Francisco, I never said I was from Southern California. I always said I was from Arizona because I didn't want to get onto it. So what do you think about 38-year-old canine police officer Philip Coquel admitting to sending dick pics while on duty?
I'm actually surprised that anyone is still sending dick pics. I mean, isn't that so last century? Or so last decade?
Yeah.
I mean, for Pete's sake.
But how is it possible when we know that the internet is forever, and if you text it from your cell phone, then we know where it came from? Like, seriously. And this guy's a cop and he doesn't know better? I don't think he should have been fired for this because he didn't get fired. He got like a warning and whatever. I think he should have been fired for this, obviously, clearly being so fucking stupid.
Yeah, sometimes the stupidity was certainly much greater than the offense, depending on who he was sending a dick pic to.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Perfect. And he's also married. And he was, so...
so he wasn't sending it to his to his legal significant other.
New. So apparently, we've got a list. We'll post this on the Great Northern Sex Cast.
I love myself a list.
Don't you? Mm-hmm. This is a slight compilation of baffling gifts from grandmothers from this last Christmas, where they maybe didn't realize what they were buying. Mm-hmm. So I've got a short list for us here. An elephant blanket with a trunk that looks like an erect penis. That would be an easy mistake to make. Mm-hmm. I can see that one. Mm-hmm. But the framed crocheted square that says "Eat Shit and Die," there was some premeditation to that one.
Oh.
And the "For My Best Friend" coffee mug with the ceramic dick inside.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the last one, T-shirt with a cartoon lawnmower with the quote, "I only go down if you keep your grass cut."
Well, I wanted new towels for Christmas. That's what I got. There was no saying on them or anything. No controversy over the towels.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was good because the towels I had from when I moved into my house like 17 years ago. And they were great towels, but you know what? It's time for some new towels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah. And my mom, who's a grandma, I just got them today because they had to be ordered. Okay. Because I like the bath sheets. I don't like a bath towel. That's fucking useless. You need a big bath sheet to go around you.
Yeah.
I know. And those were not in stock. You know, but I'm like, oh, they're like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, I don't need anything. I mean, for God's sakes, I'm all done with my house. Have been for years. Now I just repair all the stuff that I repaired 17 years ago when I bought it.
So you're on round 2.
I'm on round 2.
Yep.
You know, that's just going through there. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, Christmas is a fun thing. I got some really neat stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, because I just redid my kitchen, so I got a couple of really cool marble Lazy Susans. Mm-hmm. Awesome. You know, stuff like that. But yeah, there does come a point where it's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't need any more stuff.
But people want to get you a gift. Mm-hmm. So London. You know, I've been watching on Netflix. I've watched several different series and things that have been filmed in the UK, and I really am digging some of the stuff that they're putting out. They've got some fascinating stuff. I don't have regular TV or cable anymore, so I've been watching pretty much everything online. So besides the Netflix, the Hulu, and the Amazon, I also have Acorn TV, which gives me a crap ton of British, Canadian, New Zealand, Australian shows. And it's just so funny because I end up learning so much because they'll use slang or they'll say an area or this, and I have to Google. Yeah.
I have to Google to find out what the joke is sometimes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I first started watching this one Australian show, the friends who recommended it to me said, turn on the subtitles for at least the first few, until you get used to it. Mm-hmm. And I was damn glad I did. I'm just saying. Because it's like, whoa. But one thing I noticed about the shots of those things that are filmed in the London area is they are building like crazy there.
It's like Crane City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've noticed that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I was there a while ago, the several areas that hit the dock areas in East London are just being completely redone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's insane. Well, so there's a controversial building coming up, and it's from the same architecture group that tried to build basically a dildo tower 30 years ago, and for whatever reason it got
well, they already have something that looks like a big pod. I mean, it's going through
the green bird.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now it's the they've built, well, actually it's not the green bird. The green bird didn't get built, but this thing called the tulip did. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying is they're still fighting with the city, but the gondolas that are designed to move up and down to the top of the tower. Okay. Mm-hmm. The city is arguing that it's at risk of confusing air traffic control systems when really it looks like just a big sex toy.
So they have exterior elevators on it. This is going through there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, I just like, why there, one of the things, and exactly, doesn't all this weird looking shit belong in Dubai? Because that's where they put it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking. I saw this story, and once again, this is a total thinning of the herd kind of deal right here. I'll spoil it for you right now and say nobody died, but they so totally could have. They've arrested 3 of 4 people who became trapped in an abandoned coal mine in West Virginia after they allegedly admitted the plan was to look for copper and have sex. I just wanted to let that sink in for a minute. So the one guy said...
Okay, I mean, I understand these 2 separate things. Mm-hmm. I don't quite see how it goes together.
Well,
okay,
they thought they'd go in there and they wanted to know if they'd left anything behind that they could sell. And then they separated into pairs to have sex. And then they got trapped. And then they had to get rescued. And they're charged with breaking and entering, felony conspiracy, and giving false information to police. And one of them got out and then went back and got the rescuers. And they're pissed because they put everybody else at risk.
Yeah, see, there's the thing. You know, stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, too. I don't know if you remember, it's been 15 years ago now, 16 almost. Do you remember the people that died in the St. Paul caves? One of those was the nephew of somebody, a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And it's like...
You know, they do have guided tours of that place of some time. But it is really frustrating, you know, that folks, you know, will do things that are that dangerous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've always said that the people that do the really crazy shit, you know, like the really insane extreme sports and whatever, if they have to get rescued, I think that they should have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. I literally think that they should have to reimburse. Yeah. You know, because I don't think that's fair.
Either that or they've got to take out insurance to pay for it or something. There's got to be, you know, if someone would actually insure it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Yeah. Well, Lloyd's London.
Yeah.
Ring. I'm terrified, and this is right here, hand selected for Miss Megan. Sex robots. Okay. We've really
Spanish, Russian, Japanese. What sort of sex robots do we have now?
This is a warning from cybersecurity experts about what Stephen Hawking said, rest his soul, that the AI is going to self-animate and take over at some point. And this whole story, we'll put it up on the Facebook page for Great Northern Sexcast. This whole story is about the love dolls that are growing in popularity and the increase and the proliferation of the smart technology, which keeps getting more and more sophisticated. And they're saying cybersecurity has not been, number one, keeping up, but they are not taking cybersecurity into consideration. So they're saying these could be hijacked, used for blackmail. They could be turned into killing machines. This is very Terminator. Mm-hmm. And they're saying that they could literally...
So Stepford Wives gone nuts. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, you know, they said they could be, you know, they start out as something, your horny little friend, and then they turn into cold-blooded psychopaths because they don't have any emotions. And they're not going to stop.
I mean, honestly, couldn't someone just hack into a thermostat and screw with your electrical system in your house or something? I mean, who knows what sort of, if they're talking about that, what sort of security is on all that smart, you know, stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, or turn your heat off so that you ruin your house by freezing all the pipes.
Yeah.
I mean, someone, you know, who knows what, you know, folks get into on all that sort of stuff. Just going through there.
Yeah.
It's the same. I'm assuming it's all the similar technology. What the hell do I know? I mean, I barely know how to use my iPhone. Thank God. I mean, when my kid goes to college, I'm going to have no idea what I'm going to do when I can't figure something out.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to be completely fucking lost.
You have to befriend a neighbor kid.
Yeah.
You know, because when she's off at college, is she going to go to Illinois?
Don't know yet. Okay. We do know that I think one of them's been eliminated because I've been getting all the financial aid letters, and there's a certain dollar amount that we need to get to make, you know, because I do not want her leaving college with fuck tons of loans.
Right.
I am not giving her that anchor. Not happening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nope. Mm-mm.
So you have to figure it out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. No, that's cool. But yeah, you've got to have somebody help. I scared myself actually last week. My sister's husband, he gave her a great Christmas. One of the things he bought her was a Roomba. And I'll admit to having a robot vacuum. Mine is not a Roomba, but it is, another one.
I would get one if I had a large enough house because I would try and get my cat to sit on it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
The videos of animals on Roombas, I'll go down to the fucking black hole of that on Yield, internet.
I did see a pretty awesome cat video. I'll find the link and send it to you. But no, so Roomba, mine doesn't have this. Mine has like a remote control. But my sister's operates from her phone. So I hooked the Roomba up to the wireless in her house and then downloaded the app on her phone and synced the two so that she can turn it on from her phone, which I was really pleased with myself that I figured it out, number one. But two, I thought, oh my God, now I'm totally like, I'm an enabler of this whole thing. I don't know.
So in other words, if you wanted to, next time you're there, you could in fact sync it to your phone too and then randomly
turn the
vacuum on.
Actually, I totally should do that. I should totally do. I didn't even think about that. Thank you.
Well, yeah, we were having the big old holiday app for us. Is my mom really wanted the Lunds and Byerly's. It's a local grocery store app on her phone because they were having like the 12 days of Christmas or something, and she wanted her bacon for $2.99 a pound. It was only one day, but she needed to somehow sync it through her iPad, which she didn't have with her. So was it Christmas Day? No, a couple of days before Christmas. So Frances, my daughter, puts the app on her phone, and then the two of them drive over to Lund's to buy bacon. Yeah, the app and stuff like that was going through there. It was hilarious. She was such a good sport. She's like, I'll put it on my phone and we'll go get your bacon. Because it wasn't going to be the next day, which we didn't want to. It was hilarious, but it was all about
grandma.
Helped out grandma. Got the and then when we went over to my mom's on Christmas, we charged up her iPad, updated everything, and did all that. That was part of the day. It was hilarious. But my mom got her $2.99 bacon, and all is good.
Yeah. I don't know though that they make these cybersecurity people make some compelling arguments about if you're going to have a sex doll, be very careful if you get one that does connect to the internet because that can be hacked, and so tapes, whatever, and you may not know that you're being filmed. So be careful. And Megan can be further creeped out. Yes. Okay, this next, how many mishaps have you had with autocorrect, like on your phone?
Not too many. I mean, I was just trying to get a hold of an electrician because I've got a problem with the light and they're coming over. Yay. And I was trying to type Tony and I got Tiny. Yeah. Stuff like that. But not too much. I know, and I don't, folks, I'm not texting to like random people. It's my kid or my friends, and there's a context. We all know what's going through there. It's, pretty funny. But I've never really sent something horribly embarrassing, no.
Yeah. Oh, I have. And part of the reason I have is because I will email using my phone, using the voice function.
Oh, the voice, yeah. Yeah, I don't use that. I don't have mine even turned on.
Yeah. And so I've learned to I do it less than I used to. But one of the ones that I sent when I still had my loft and I was on the board for the building, I sent just what really until I read it. Like, I'm getting all these like smiley faces from people and I'm like, what? And then I read what I sent and it was hilarious. Like, there was the word fart in there and just all this crazy stuff. And we were talking about something utterly mundane. Yeah, it was just really funny. But here's a situation where I think it was an autocorrect situation. There was a wedding. And people showed up and, like they had their little place cards and, whatever. They had a little menu. But they didn't say hors d'oeuvres during the time. It said horses' ovaries. And all I can think is that autocorrect was because, Yeah.
I do find it strange. I mean, what I am sometimes amazed at how bad I can spell a word that autocorrect can't even fix it. If I'm just my thumb, and I don't even have fake nails anymore, so it's even easier for me to text. And sometimes I'm like, what the hell did I just? It's like I shifted over, and it's hilarious. But most of the time I'm like, oh my! And then there are times when I've now fucked up a word so bad that I actually have to go to another screen, type in the word better, and then copy and paste it and put it in something I'm doing because I can't figure out how to spell it. I can, because I've screwed it up so many times, autocorrect just gives up.
Yep.
It is just funnier than hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've had some really bizarre, like, pretty normal words where it's changed it into something that made absolutely no sense. And I'm like, okay.
And then a lot of times I'm like, so my phone thinks I want to say this. How many people actually say this? I mean, isn't it supposed to learn sort of from what you do or something like that?
Yeah. And
if you typed it before?
Well, and mine still, I have to, like, how does mine not learn the word fucking yet? Because God knows I use that one a lot. And it still is like, it's the first time I've ever seen this. I told you what Siri did to me one time. I was walking, out on a walk, and I needed to call a business associate, and this was somebody I talked to every single day. I had something I didn't want to forget. So I told my phone to call this person's name. And it said, sorry, Kelly, there are no contacts named blah, blah, blah with a cell phone number. And I went, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was almost like saying to myself, because I was like, really? And my phone, Siri, goes, Kelly, your language. And I was like,
are you
it
really?
Did.
Oh my God.
It did. So.
I have all that turned off on my phone. It just, but it saved my mom's ass when she fell. From our door when she fell and broke everything. She couldn't even manage to dial 911, but she got the phone to go to Siri, and she asked Siri to call 911.
No kidding.
Total dumb luck, but she did it because my building's raised up a little bit, and she was on the ground. So even if you were standing in the hallway looking out the front door, you wouldn't have seen her on the ground.
Oh my God! Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's a good. She's doing better, isn't she?
Oh yeah, everything's. She still can't lift her arm or so much. She may not ever lift her arm over her head again. She shattered the shoulder so bad, but there's lots of physical therapy, and she's doing better and stuff like that.
She certainly has a good attitude once she was allowed to go places. That being trapped thing was not suiting her.
Oh, she was. I mean, and and my sister. I mean, she stepped up. I mean, my mom lived with her for 3 months. She just said, "Oh, well, you're just coming home with me." That was it.
That's great. That's a nice family. I thought this was interesting. There's a story about the headline says, despite the Me Too movement, rape cases still confound police. And it's a good read, because this movement that emerged with the purpose of empowering victims of sexual assault to speak up. But they're saying that the clearance rate for rape cases fell in 2017 to its lowest point since the 60s, according to FBI data that the AP was able to obtain. And what they're saying is there's all sorts of weird little factors here. Because on one hand, you go, gosh, how is that possible? We have DNA now.
But there's probably more people reporting. And they still don't have folks that are trained. And I mean, they're getting there.
Yes.
But I know the state of Minnesota is working on a bill or a couple different things going through there, trying to change the stuff. And the city of Minneapolis was working on adding officers and training. But you need to get the money for it. Then you have to do the training for it. I mean, it's not instantaneous.
Right. Well, experts are saying that, to be fair, sexual assault is one of the most confounding crimes that police deal with because many of these investigations lack corroborating witnesses and physical evidence. And of course, a significant number of complaints are reported months or years after the fact. And researchers are saying that they believe only 1/3 of rapes, even with all that are reported, only 1/3 that actually occur have been reported. And we know about the past where detectives and police used to discourage people from prosecuting cases between, like husbands or boyfriends or even acquaintances. But that is turning a corner. But here's what they're saying. Police successfully closed only 32% of rape investigations nationwide in 2017, making it second only to robbery as the least solved violent crime. And that's down from 62% back in 1964. But they're saying that they are also beginning, instead of just not doing anything with them, they suspend these cases, hoping that maybe something's going to turn up. So the fact that they're not willing to just say, forget it, we're not going to do anything, and they put them into that status could be a major reason.
Because closing a case is resolving it too, according to how people track stuff. Is it closed? You're just leaving it perpetually open until they find something.
Yeah.
So it's going to show more open cases. I can see that.
But anyway, just kind of something to to watch. I'm sure more reported than were reported in 1964. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to do apples to apples, but I thought it was an interesting story. Did you hear about Kevin Spacey's YouTube video?
I know that Louis C.K. did something asinine the other day, but with everything going on, I honestly was trying to have like several weeks of just fun social media, so I was looking at a lot of different things. Yeah. And plus, once I found this Acorn app, I've been watching this Canadian show, Murdoch Mysteries, and this other thing on Netflix called Doyle's. I've been just diving into Australia, New Zealand, British, and Canadian television. So I'm just, the little screen thing that pops up, I just want to tell it to fuck off. Because I'm watching it all on my phone because my TV is too difficult to maneuver around. I need a keyboard for the TV. And my laptop, I hadn't updated in 18 months, so it was a pain in the ass. I've been watching your phone. I watch on my phone, which I gave my daughter shit about years ago when she was. We have this whole thing. It's too much work to maneuver around and pick names on that. I need to find it easier. Maybe I need to get an Apple TV or something.
Well, or a keyboard.
Yeah, a keyboard and stuff like that. I just haven't.
Because YouTube is so hard unless you have a key. Whatever. Speaking of YouTube, Kevin Spacey did a YouTube video. It's titled "Let Me Be Frank," and using an accent kind of like the Frank Underwood character from House of Cards. He says, "Oh, sure. They may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong. It's too powerful. And after all, we shared everything, you and I. I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. Blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "We're not done no matter what anybody says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back." I mean, there's this whole blathering thing. He published it December 24th. And that's weird. Not heard a thing about it. So maybe at least folks in my social media circle have decided to just block, ignore, and not give the guy any time. And for those of you who don't know, he's accused of sexually assaulting an 18-year-old son of a Boston TV news anchor at a restaurant. And she said, "My son was a Star Trek straight 18-year-old young man who had no idea that the famous actor was an alleged sexual predator and that he was about to become his next victim." She said, "My son was drunk. Spacey made his move and sexually assaulted him." And my other question is, what is the 18-year-old doing drunk? But, just saying.
I know very few people that did not drink underage, so.
I know, but,
It's going through there. Yeah.
This is horrible. Vegas to Michigan flight overnight. 35-year-old Prabhu Ramamurthy was found guilty of sexually assaulting the woman next to him on a Spirit Airlines flight. Now, mind you, he was sitting between this woman and his wife. And
Jesus.
He put his hands down the sleeping woman's pants and penetrated her with his fingers as his wife slept. And he was sentenced to 11 years. And the FBI says,
his fingers would be ripped off.
Well, how would you not wake up?
No, right? Yeah, obviously. That's that's highly disgusting.
The ish factor is off the charts. But their FBI is saying there's a steep rise in mid-air sexual assaults, quote, in part due to increasingly cramped confined spaces, alcohol, drugs, fewer flight attendants, and dark cabins on night flights.
Yeah, whenever I've traveled, my kid is, I'm always between, depending on where we are, my daughter's on the other side of me. There was no stranger sitting near my kid.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm just like, I know, I believe these people, but I'm like, oh my God, you can't even fly. I mean, that's just disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, you're touching the person next to you. I mean, there's just no way of not touching the person next to you. Yeah, it's going through there.
So, Rob Lowe, are you a fan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen him. He's doing a speaking tour now or something like that. I mean, I don't know. It was all over the place. He's got to go set on stage. I think he may have even been here in town a few weeks ago or months ago, whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was such an it boy for so long, and then there was that video that surfaced of him, and it creeped people out, and he went away for a while, and I guess he's okay, now. But he made news. He was in East Sussex, England.
Yeah, he's filming something over there, I think, now.
And he went to a store, and he made a post of a picture that he took that said of the aisle marked girls' toys. And it's GIRLS and then toys. And so he posted the picture and complained of gender bias. And he said, come on, Tesco, this isn't acceptable. My daughter loves unicorns and dolls, but she also likes robots, dinosaurs, rockets, monsters, and Lego. Don't make me have to reassure her that's okay. But here's what's so funny. That didn't really get any traction. What sparked the storm was that it should have been GIRLS apostrophe toys. That the grammar was wrong. So that's what all the discussion became about. Everybody completely and totally missed the mark, what if you tried to start a controversy and nobody gave a shit? That's what I was thinking when I read it.
Target no longer marks toys as boys or girls.
Yeah.
You're going through there. And I've never, understood, any kid could want a doll or an Easy Bake Oven or a Lego set or a Star Wars lightsaber. It's just going through there. There, Easy Bake. There is at 56th to 54th in Penn, there's a bakery, and the one wall is all little restaurant bakery. They have 4 dozen old Easy Bake Ovens up on the wall.
Oh, cute.
It is so adorable. I loved my Easy Bake Oven. I had one of those sort of teal green bluey ones, that were sort of 2 stories in the one. Oh God. I baked so many tiny cakes in those things.
Oh my God. That was the most fun as a kid. As a kid. And then the toys change when you get older.
Actually, the teal, now that I think about it, the sort of a teal color is coming back, is really popular for sex toys. We've got this Jopin line in that has all sparkly ends. And it's a little bit lighter than that teal, but that did well over Christmas, and we're going to be restocking for Valentine's, because that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's all about, Christmas is over, and we're just right into Valentine's. We're going to be over shopping online. The discount word for this month is going to be snuggles. Snuggles, because
all
it's just
lowercase?
I don't think it makes any difference, but it'd be Sarah's making all the graphics right now, because it just sort of it's eventually will get cold here in the Twin Cities. You just want to snuggle up.
That's cute.
Yep.
All right, so that's my God, we're almost halfway through January now.
I know. I just
freaking me out.
Show 2, 2019, Great Northern Sex Cast. Woo!